Hey knitters, Lindsay and Puddles here for Knit Echo Chic with a tutorial for our new release, Love Moebius. This tutorial shows you how to work double knitting and Moebius at the same time. There are a few tricks and tips that you'll want to pay attention to in order to get a really flawless result. I'm using organic cotton yarn from Blue Sky Fibers in Punch and Estelle Cloud Cotton, organic cotton in black. So, like any Moebius, you start with your slip knot and follow along Kat Bourde's Moebius cast on. So you move your slip knot to the middle and you let your other needle fall. Now, this is probably the most important thing of the entire combination of Moebius and double knitting. When you place your start marker, you do it after you've placed your slip knot. Now this start marker you can allow to fall to the bottom of your cable if you'd like, or you can hold it up top. But what you do not want to do is bring it around. Again, do not bring it around. You can leave it at the bottom or you can hold it up by the live stitches, but do not put it next to the slip knot. And then once you get your start marker placed, it's as easy as following Kat's cast on. And you'll want to place your stitch markers per the pattern as you cast on. Another tip is try to make sure your yarn doesn't twist. It does lead to having a little bit extra bulk, and remember the cast on will be the center of your cowl, so you kind of want it to look as nice as possible. So try to keep the yarns from twisting. And if your start marker slips to the bottom as you're working, just let it hang out there. It'll get to the right spot at the right time. And continue that way until the join. Hi, Puddles. Once you finish your cast on and you place a marker and you join in the round, you'll notice that, oh my goodness, your start marker is on the cable, not on the needle. This is exactly where it needs to be. It needs to be on the cable. If it's on the needle, you need to start over because your pattern won't line up properly. So let that start marker hang out and work your join in the round and make sure that the colors on your needles match up to round 12, and that might take a little bit of rearranging. For me, hot pink is MC and black is CC. So I work the first and bring both yarns forward and purl. And now you'll be working into these triangles. That is normal like any Moebius cast on. And remember when I told you make sure that it didn't twist? This is why, because you've got these little tiny twists. So I am going to rearrange. So you knit into one and you bring both yarns forward and you purl into the other, and then you slip off the triangle and then you bring both yarns back. So I'm rearranging so that I knit into one, both yarns forward, purl into another, and then slip the triangle off. Knit into one, both yarns forward, purl into the other, slip off, both yarns back. Now I'm at a color transition for the pattern. So knit into one, both yarns forward, purl into the other, slip off, both yarns back. You can opt to just knit and purl into whatever color you want, but this will be the center of your cowl. So I do recommend trying to match the yarn on the needle to 12 and your yarn on your finger to 1. And you notice that you don't have any markers on your needle. so you'll need to keep on counting. This is knit into one, both yarns forward, purl into the other, slip off both yarns back. Again, another big twist here. And if you come across a big twist, I put some in on purpose so that you can see. You just want to try to untwist it as best you can so you won't have a big glop of yarn in the center of your cowl. And for the pattern, you are working the same number of stitches as you did with the cast on and then placing markers. An easy trick to keep track is when you see a marker on your cable come up, do a quick count on your stitches and place the marker on your needle. That's just a little trick so you don't have to keep counting each time. And then continuing in pattern. And again, if you don't want to pay attention to the yarn color on your needle, just make sure that the yarn in your fingers that's being stitched matches the colors of round 1. And that is going to stay true all the way until you hit your start marker. And I just ran out of these circles, so I used a locking stitch marker, but I know that this lime green one is my unique start marker. Sorry about the change of light, guys. We got rained out yesterday, so I'm picking up this morning. So if the angle's a little different or the light's a little different, I apologize. An easier way to think about the arrangement of the cast-on stitches is simply to knit into the opposite color than what is called for in round 1. So if round 1 calls for a CC stitch, you knit into an MC stitch. And then with the second half of the triangle, you purl with your second color. So when round 1 calls for you to use a CC stitch, you work into an MC stitch, and then with the second color you work the second color. So you're just working opposites. If round 1 calls for you to work an MC stitch, you work into a CC. Again, it's just opposite colors. And then your second is your second unused color. And some of the testers found this more helpful than thinking about rearranging triangles. So whatever works best for you. And thank you for the testers who recommended just thinking of it as working into the opposite for your setup half round. Okay, coming to the end of setup half round. I'm almost at my start marker here. Alright, slip my start marker, and we're at the slip knot. So we're transitioning to round 2 of the color work. Alright, slip knot is a little bit different since it's not a triangle, but you'll see once you pass the slip knot, you're back to your triangles. And these triangles, after you've passed the start marker, you'll be rearranging to match round 1. And that's only until you hit the join in the round part. Once you hit the join in the round, it's straight double knitting. All the setup fun is done, and you can just fly through the pattern. And now, the work opposite trick no longer holds. But everything else is the same. You're still working into the triangles. You're still moving your yarns forward and backwards. Alright, I'll fly through these and then give you your final tip when you come to the join in the round. Well, the rain is threatening again, so I just slipped all around. You won't have this yarn hanging down on yours. It was just to try and beat the rain. Okay, so finishing up, I'm almost halfway through setup full round. which means I'm almost at where I joined in the round at the cast on. That's this marker right here across from your start marker. So last couple stitches here, rearranging so that they match round 1. And now I am at the join in the round marker, and you no longer have to pay attention to this marker. It's just a marker like everyone else. Just pay attention to your start marker down here to know when to change color rows. All right, so no more rearranging, yay! No more triangles, yay! It's simple double knitting. You're continuing with round 2, leaving the stitches as they appear. Knit into one, bring both forward, purl into the next, send both back, knit into one, bring both forward, purl into back, send both back. And in that way, you follow round 2 all the way until you hit the start marker. I hope this tutorial has helped you conquer the Moebius cast on. And you can see the cast on here right in the middle. And how you get a flawless look by taking a little extra time rearranging your stitches. You don't have to, but I think you'll agree it's worth it when you see the end result. Thank you for joining me in the Love Moebius Knit Along. I look forward to seeing your projects, and I hope this video has helped. Happy knitting!